This is Freedom Creative Solutions, and these are our Freedom tutorial videos. This tutorial video takes a brief tour of all the buttons and functions in the WordPress editor, which is used for editing posts, pages, and other types of content in WordPress. If you've ever used a text editor like Microsoft Word, then you'll be right at home with the Editor Toolbar in WordPress. The buttons across the top of the edit pane allow you to simply format text by highlighting a word or a phrase, then clicking the button corresponding with the appropriate format style. So I'm just going to go through all the features that the text editor offers, give you a good rundown, and give you a better understanding of how this text editor works. So the very first thing I'm going to pull your attention to is this little button above the text editor called Add Media. And this is just how you add things like pictures, audio, different types of media forms into your post or page. So let's say I want to add an image to this. So I'm going to go to my media, and it's going to open up the media gallery that holds all of the pictures and media files stored on your website. I'm going to click one of my choice, and then I'm going to go on the bottom right hand corner and click insert into post or page, and there you have it. We have our image. If you want to see what this looks like as the finished product, then you can go move all the way over here on the right hand corner in the publish box and hit preview changes. A tab should pop up here at the top, or a new window, and it gives you a small preview of what the page looks like. This is a post I'm utilizing right now, so don't let that throw you off too much. And we'll get into posts and what their purpose is in another video, but for now let's just focus on the text editor. So now that I've incorporated an image here, to edit my image or to manipulate it, I simply click on it, and there's this little menu that comes up, and you can do various things with these icons. You can have the text aligned to the you can have the image aligned left of the text or content. You can have the image aligned to the center of your page or post. You can have the image aligned to the right of the text, or you can just have no alignment at all. If you want to go in even further or more in depth into editing your image, you can click on the pencil, and you can go into more detail about what you want for this image. You can add a caption. So let's add a caption. Let's put Veteran Resource Center. You can add in an alternative text. I really wouldn't worry about this, not unless you really want to know more about search engine optimization. We'll dig into that later if you're more into that, but for now we're going to skip that. Again, you can utilize how you want the image to be aligned. If you want it to align to the left, to the center, or to the right, or none. I can choose what size I want it based off of the 4 categories already given to me, or I can give a custom size. So I can do thumbnail, medium, large, full size, or I can give my own custom size. So I can do maybe 500 by 281. So then you can also add in a URL and have it linked to something when somebody clicks on it. So we're going to do www.veterancenter.com, and then I am going to hit update. There's also an advanced options down here, but again, I really wouldn't worry too much about this. This would be something that a developer would more than likely have access to, and we'll dig into all of that later. But you click update, and as you can see, we now have our caption. It is linked. You can't really see it right now, but if we were to go to preview changes, now when you click, you can see that the cursor has changed when you hover over it. It's now clickable and it'll take you to the link. There's also the caption right here at the bottom. Another way you can manipulate the size of your image is if you simply click on it. There's these 4 white boxes or blocks that pop up at the corner of the image. If you hover over your mouse over one of them, then it changes into sort of like a barbell arrowed type icon. If you hold down the mouse button and you drag, you can also manipulate the size of your image that way, and then when you feel content with the size, you can just click out of it. And that is how you add an image. So let's say we want to change how this whole content is formatted right here. So this little drop down arrow button, like, you can't really edit the font size of your text manually in the text editor, not unless you have an added plugin or something of that nature. Instead, you can go to this little drop down arrow and choose a format. So let's say, for instance, I want to make Welcome to WordPress a heading. I'm going to click on the drop down arrow and click on heading 1. And now, as you can see, the font is bigger, it's bolded, and it's in a different format. Welcome to WordPress. Let's make the second line a heading 2. And let's make this, we'll keep this a paragraph. I'm just going to highlight everything and I'm just going to align it to the center. There you have it. I don't think the image, let's align this to the center as well. There we go. So that's what this is for. These, if you're familiar with Word, with Microsoft's Word, then you already know what these are: bold, italic. If you have a list that you want to make, say for instance, it's let's see, let's go with apples, oranges, and peaches. And I wanted to make this a bulleted list. I would highlight all 3 and click this icon, and all of a sudden they are bulleted lists. It looks a little funky right now, so let me go ahead and left align that. It's a little bit wonky in general, so let's just go ahead and left align everything again. Giving me a little bit of trouble here. It still wants to center it. There we go. But as you can see here, it's a bulleted list now. And the same thing applies for this this icon as well. The difference is that this is a numbered list instead of a bulleted list. Now let's say, for instance, you want to quote somebody from an excerpt from a book or something of that nature. Then you would highlight this and you would hit this button right here, which is called a block quote. If you do that, then you get this nice little formatting style where everything suddenly becomes italicized and you have this little bar in the side. You see this often in a lot of magazine articles. And you already know about the alignment buttons. If I wanted to add a link to something, I'd simply highlight this word or letter or phrase, and I'd click on the paperclip icon. I can put in the URL of my choosing. So I'm just gonna make a random icon or URL here, and I'm gonna hit the apply button. And now it has a link attached to it. If I want to do a little bit more, I can hit the pencil button when my mouse hovers over it. And there's a little gears icon right here that you can click on. And I can choose to have the link open in a new tab whenever somebody clicks on it. So let's say you don't want somebody to leave your website right away. You want them to be able to stay onto your website. Then this would be a good option. That way a second tab or a new window will open when they click on the link, and they'll still have the window with your website still open. Next you have the insert read more tag, and this just helps hide certain content that you don't want seen until somebody clicks on it. This is the toolbar toggle button. If you click on it, the toolbar disappears. Don't worry about this. This is something added by a plugin, so don't be scared if you don't see it. This is the Strikethrough feature, just like on Microsoft Word. You just click on this and there, Strikethrough. A horizontal line. Let's say I wanted to separate my little page or post here. I want my block quote and my list separated. I can click on this little icon right here, and I now have a line separating the two sections. If I want to change the color of something, then I'd highlight it, and then I go in the drop down. I can choose a color from up here, or I can click on custom and pick from a color picker. This is to paste as text. If you copy something from another website and it has different formatting, you can choose to paste it as regular HTML. This is actually automatically incorporated into the text editor. Clear formatting is a similar style. If you want to add a sort of a special character to your post or page, then you click on the special characters, and let's say if I wanted to use an acute E, then you can change it that way. Let's say if I had a lot of text here, let's get some text here, and I wanted to indent it, then I click on this button right here, indent, or if I don't want it, then I click on that. And this is your undo button to undo everything that you've done, or if you want to redo something, you can click on that as well. But let's go all the way back to the beginning. I'm going to keep going back. And there you have it. So this is how you utilize the text editor. If you click on this icon, there's little shortcuts that you can memorize in case you don't want to utilize the toolbar as much. You will find this text editor throughout WordPress. Even if you download a plugin, there's different plugins that utilize this, such as page builders, like for instance Elementor. You will find that a page builder has this same text editor incorporated into it, so you'll already know how to handle it and how to utilize it. And that's the features of a text editor.